A two-time world champion's own coach stopped a sparring session just after 4 rounds because the fighter was getting dismantled by a kid nobody had ever heard of. We gotta call a spade because Terence Bud Crawford is the most ruthless, calculated killer in modern boxing. He doesn't just beat world champions, he breaks their faces and shatters their orbital bones and retires them. But the real story is how a kid from Omaha became a generational pound-for-pound king. And he didn't start under the bright lights of a pay-per-view. It started in an empty, echoing gym behind closed doors. Today, we are ripping the lid off the Terence Crawford sparring secrets that they never told you. We're going to be covering the undefeated contenders he dropped in a secret, and the absolute panic that he caused in elite training camps, and the legendary gym wars that proves he was unbeatable before the world even knew his name. Let's look at the receipts. Secret number 4, the Vegas test. Early in his career, Crawford was a complete unknown. He had no hype machine, no massive promoter push. For Crawford to get noticed, his team flew him to Vegas to serve as a sparring partner for Sharif Bogere, an undefeated, highly touted lightweight contender, known as the Lion. And if I butchered your name, my bad. Now, it was supposed to be a routine session to help build the A-side fighter. The secret? Crawford didn't care who the A-side was. According to ESPN, the unknown kid from Nebraska, Bogere, dropped him and absolutely destroyed him in front of his own team. It was the first warning shot to the boxing world. Do not bring Crawford into your gym unless you're ready for war. And years later, that reputation absolutely caused chaos for a former world champion. Secret number 3, the sparring panic. In late 2021, Shawn Porter was preparing for the biggest fight of his life against Crawford. Behind the scenes, Porter's camp was in full-blown crisis mode. Porter's father and trainer, Kenny Porter, openly admitted to the media that they couldn't literally find a single human that could replicate Terence Bud Crawford in sparring. The secret? They were so desperate that they brought in Gervonta Tank Davis, a fighter multiple weight classes below them, just to get the speed. Then they brought in Caleb Plant and Andre Darrell, 200-pound light heavyweights, just to deal with the power that Crawford possesses. They had to piece together 4 different champions to mimic one Terence Crawford. It didn't work. Crawford became the first and only man to ever stop Shawn Porter and retired him that very night. But Porter wasn't the only champion whose camp fell apart before facing Bud. What happens when the fight of the decade is secretly over before it even begins? Secret number 2, the broken camp. When Errol Spence Jr. stepped into the ring with Crawford for undisputed glory, fans expected a 50-50 war. Instead, Crawford dropped him 3 times and battered him into a 9th round stoppage. And for years, people were wondering what went wrong. The secret? It didn't come out until June of 26. Spence sat down with Andre Ward and finally admitted the truth. His camp was, quote, trash. Weeks before the fight, Spence was sparring Quentin Randall and took a brutal shot that injured his ribs. The man who once went to war with Floyd Mayweather in the doghouse was forced to completely stop sparring. He walked into the fight of his life against the most vicious boxer, against the most vicious finisher in boxing, with 0 live rounds under his belt. The public, we had no idea. But while Spence camp was a disaster, but the final secret proves that even a perfect camp can't save you from Bud Terence Crawford. Secret number 1, the classified Bradley War. In 2011, Tim Bradley was a 2-time world champ, preparing for Devin Alexander. He was destroying his sparring partners and demanded better work. His manager flew out an unknown kid from Omaha who had never fought past 6 rounds. They picked Crawford up straight from the airport and took him straight to the gym. No hotel, no rest. Bradley's rule? It was simple. If you don't have the goods, you fly back out today. Crawford stepped into the ring, no trainer, no corner. Bradley tried to take it easy, but Crawford popped him with a stiff jab. Bradley raised his intensity and started throwing harder combinations. Crawford He didn't blink. He calmly slipped the shots and dug brutal counters downstairs. The secret? After just 4 rounds, Bradley's own coach stepped in and stopped the session. He knew Crawford was laying into the champion, and he didn't want Bradley's confidence destroyed before the fight. Bradley walked up to this unknown kid and said, "Hey, bruh, you ain't no sparring partner. You a world champion, and the rest is history." The truth is, the Terence Crawford that you see on TV was built in the shadows, breaking world champions in empty gyms when no one was watching. From the airport test with Tim Bradley to the panic in Shawn Porter's camp, his legacy is forged in unregulated violence. Which of these secrets do you think defines Crawford the most? Do you believe a prime Tim Bradley really could have survived the fight with Bud? Defend your takes in the comments below right now. Hit that like button and subscribe for more untold combat sports history. And I'll see you on the next one. Holla at your boy. Peace. I'm out.